I'm Dr. Haig John. I'm a chiropractor in Melbourne, Florida, in USA. And we're going to go through some demonstrations. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to become more familiar with infant spines, understand a little more about philosophy in chiropractic. We're going to empower you to adjust and care for more families and children and babies. It is my honor to do so. It is the honor for me to teach the student, because it's the people that deserve their care of chiropractic to be the absolute best. So if I can be a part of inspiring you to work a little harder, to be the best you could possibly be, then I'm fulfilling my mission. And the people are what counts. The truck drivers, the secretaries, the people that work in the grocery stores, the farmers, the mothers caring for their children, because we want them to grow up healthy and well. Life is amazing. Chiropractors work with the life that is inside each and every living being. That is a big task. That is something that is a gift that we were given, the inspiration to say, I am going to be a chiropractor. We always talk about, or I talk about, that chiropractic isn't something we choose as people. We are chosen for it. And that is, when we look at it in a sense like that, I know I'm in the right place. I know I'm doing the right thing. Every bit of training I do is to better myself so I can serve the people better. When I'm teaching you, or I'm lecturing or doing a seminar, I'm doing that to fulfill the mission for the people themselves. Because people are living their lives, they're caring for their children, they're trying to be the best that they can. They're trying to be the best mothers and fathers. The inspiration for their children to go up and maybe be a little bit more than, or have a little more than they have had in their lives. And I see that as a big responsibility. So we're going to go on a little journey today. We're going to do a few things. I'm going to demonstrate some adjusting of newborn babies from 1 day to 9 months old. We're a lot of the things that we're going to do, we can also do with adults. Because it's where we are in our conscious being, who we are as people when we're stepping up to that table to adjust someone. When we have the whole world on our shoulders, our own families, children that didn't want to go to school this morning, or like my son didn't want to put on clothes, get out of his pajamas to go into school. But that's okay. You know, we all have life that happens with us, and we have to understand that with the patients. I don't even use the word patients anymore, okay? I'll use it so we'll know what we're talking about very often, but I call them people. These are people just like you and me that come into our office. When I use the word patient, that shows that they're sick. Most of the people come here to my office, they're mostly well, and they're educated towards a wellness model. I live and serve chiropractic in a vitalistic way. What that means is that we honor the inborn intelligence in every being, every person, every child, every cat and every dog, a horse. But we honor that intelligence inside them. We know that is what does the healing. I cannot heal someone else. My own healer, we call innate intelligence or spirit, is inside me right now. And that's the one that heals my cuts. It digests my food. It makes this beautiful skin, all the organs in my body. It knows how to exchange the gas from my breath out of the blood, the CO2, bringing in oxygen, all the wonderful things into my system. It knows how to do that. That is my innate intelligence. That is my spirit. So as a vitalistic chiropractor, what we're looking at is that beautiful spirit first. When I come to the table, all the life and things that happen. My mother is 90 years old this year. She's living with us. God bless her. And, you know, there are challenges with that. There are challenges that we have to deal with on a daily basis where she maybe is forgetting more things. And she asks questions many, many times, maybe the same question over and over again. Sometimes those are challenges, not just repeating ourselves, but emotionally, right? It's my mother. Many of you have been through things like that too. We have life happening with us. So that consciousness is left at home the best that we can. If we need to take a moment and say, okay, I need to be at peace. We bring our energy down and we connect heart to heart, spirit to spirit, innate to innate with the person that are on our tables. And we laugh, we love, we hug a little more before COVID, but we still have a loving atmosphere in the office. I have stresses just like everyone else in life. I do my best to leave them outside of the office. In the United States, you know, we have a lot of politics stuff going on. Politics has never healed anyone from a problem with their body, but their innate has. We don't talk about politics in the office. We don't talk about religion in the office. We don't talk about the things that cause the most amount of emotion with people. But I do tell people about their innate intelligence. That's not religion. That's about life, the spirit within them. Their body is doing something amazing. From the moment of conception, 2 cells dividing into this, what we have right now. We're creating and exchanging 3 billion cells a minute, every minute of every day, awake or asleep, eating or drinking. The body is always replacing and restoring new cells in the body. The stem cells get their information from the brain through the nerve system, and the body says, make me a new liver cell, make me a new eyeball cell, make me a new skin cell with those beautiful stem cells. We make our own. I want my body healthy to make my own stem cells. I don't want stem cell therapy. I've never had it. I don't want it. We don't do it in my office. My stem cells, each adjustment is creating healthier communication for your brain to say, make a healthier one this time, a healthier one this time, a healthier one this time, each time getting a healthier heart cell. The body doesn't repair cells. It replaces them with better ones. We had a lot going on, just like a computer. We have multiple programs open up in a computer, and what happens? The computer slows down. So when we have multiple subluxations, multiple issues going on in the body, dis-ease was said by D.D. Palmer in 1910, that when the body is not at ease, that's what dis-ease, the body is not at ease because it's subluxated. The organs are not going to function as well. When you have a lot of that subluxation going on in the body, the brain's doing the best it can. The stem cells, I'm going to make the best I can right now. This is what I've got. Just like a computer with many programs open. It might take a while for the programs to go through. So as we start clearing the body, clearing the subluxations, not just crunching bones, getting the subluxation and adjusting it, that innate intelligence is allowed to go through the body and communicate life at its absolute best. And now it can make just a little better than last time. Just a little better. Each time the body is healing more and more and doing a little better and a little better and a little better. My mentor, Dr. Pasquale Sarasoli in Brooklyn, mentored thousands of us. It's my duty to come and share what he has given us. But he's always said small sequential steps. You take a little bit at a time. Healing happens at a little bit at a time. And I've always taken that into heart because, spontaneous healing would be absolutely lovely. Jesus did it many times. And it may happen with people for all we know. Other things might be healing that we can't see. I'm going to tell you a little story. My mother has had heart disease. She had 2 triple bypass surgeries to bypass the coronary arteries so the blood can flow and bring blood to her heart. That's how that works, right? So she had 2. There's not a cure. Those are symptom reliefs, right? The symptom of the clogged arteries around the heart. So they saved her life for the moment, but 7 to 12 years on average, a person has to have another one because the problem wasn't solved of why it happened. The why is the biggest part. We're going to talk a lot about the why today, and I'm sure all your amazing professors, your teachers, they're the maestros, giving you from their heart all their years of experience. And I am so fortunate to meet your professors and the staff and adjust them and adjust you. A lot of you were adjusted by me last year, and I can't wait to do it again. The gifts that they have given us is this wisdom. The wisdom to see the wisdom within each and every one of us. This wisdom inside of me, I say, is created by God. Innate intelligence is the expression of God in each and every one of us. D.D. Palmer and B.J. said that's the universal intelligence. We'll get back to that in a minute. So as I was adjusting her, I was practicing in New York City, living with my father there, and I came to Florida to help my mother after the hurricanes that were here in 2004, 2005, and in Florida. And she didn't tell me she has 3 steps to walk into her house. She would get, after 1 step up, she'd have to stop to breathe. She'd take another step up to breathe. Because what little bit of blood got through those coronary arteries, they weren't getting to the lungs properly. The whole system was failing. She was near death. Blood pressure 225 over 110 and fluctuating. Time bomb. The body's ready to give up. Her carotid arteries were 99% blocked. Carotid arteries, blood to her brain. She's not even thinking clearly. The brain's not getting oxygen. The system is starting to malfunction. My mother's close to death. She's on all the drug therapies. They don't work. I've given talks about this to a lot of cardiologists. They didn't love it because they said their treatment actually doesn't work to change heart disease. But they invite me back because we all help each other together. To do talks, get out to the public, share chiropractic. So we went to my mother's cardiologist. After about a month, I was taking her blood pressure twice a day, and her blood pressure normalized, 125 over 75, which it is still today. This is when she was about 75. She's 90 right now, and her blood pressure is still near perfect. It's beautiful. And she's 100% drug-free. No drugs, 0. I give her some vitamins, and I don't take many myself. But drug-free, her body is healthy at 90 years old. Things are starting to go, but we'll keep her well adjusted. So we went to her cardiologist. They did another ultrasound of the carotid arteries, and from 90% blocked blood to the brain to 70. 70. Wow. 70, they don't consider surgery at all in 70%. Quite a bit of blood is still getting to the brain. We did it again a few months later, 50. Now, she was in her 70s, 75 years old, something like that, and our body was healing. There is no end date for us to heal. Until we're under the soil, until the priest says the last rites, our body is healing all the time. From the newborn baby, that moment that baby comes out, it's able to heal its cuts. If it gets a little cut, it's healing. Digest food, mommy's milk, it's healing. It's functioning. It's digesting. It's creating new cells. We have a brand new heart. The heart replaces itself 5 to 6 times per year with brand new cells. Brand new cells. This one's not right, get rid of it. This one's not right, get rid of it. Put a better one in, put a better one in. Each time better and better. Those stem cells see the body and say, I need right here. From our innate intelligence saying, I need one right there. She got healthier and healthier and healthier. Off every drug. Cholesterol medication's the worst. So hard on the brain because the brain is mostly cholesterol. We need the brain to function well. Cholesterol drugs, I think, are very, very dangerous. I can't believe they still sell them, truthfully. But this isn't talking about drugs. We're talking about function. So her body is healing. Her body is functioning better. Her heart disease is 100% gone. They were planning a 3rd bypass surgery for the 3rd time in her life. She had one in her 50s. She had one in her 60s. In her 70s, they want the 3rd one. Now, my mother, she knows. My father's a medical doctor. She's very well versed in health and function and medicine. We grew up in that world my whole life. And she knew 3 bypasses is the limit in one lifetime. You can only have 3. They can't do another one. So she was holding on every moment of life she could have by not getting this 3rd one. One step at a time to come into the house to catch her breath again. Could you imagine that? These people spend $100,000 to go on a tour to climb Mount Everest. And they have to take one step at a time, breathe oxygen. In Florida, we're right at sea level, and she couldn't breathe like she was climbing Mount Everest. And she was suffering with it as long as she can to prolong her life because she knew 3rd one is it. I can't have another one. I didn't heal my mother. Chiropractic did. Her body healed itself. The messages I received from her innate intelligence, from her body, from what her system said, adjust me here. Vertebra out of place, adjust that vertebra. Not just feeling a stuck point and cracking it, but finding that one subluxation and adjusting it skillfully, properly, with the greatest intention, and stepping away. Think about this. That's the important factor. One of my other mentors, James Sigafus. If you haven't heard of Pasquale Sarasoli or Jim Sigafus, look them up, Google search, ask me. I will send you information about them because they were the sages of chiropractic. I was with them till the moment they died, and it is my mission to pass on their learning that I received to you. But Jim Sigafus used to say this: I move the bone, God does the healing. Step away. Once that adjustment is done, I can't make anything else happen. Boom, let the body do it. Now, we get a little unsure of ourselves at times, and we want to do more things. We want to do therapies. We want to zap them. We want to stretch them. We got to massage them, put some oil on them, who knows what. The power comes in as leaving it alone. And think about the message that tells a person. You are well adjusted. Leave it. That is it. And when they start seeing those results in their life, wow, okay. It's not about more. In reality, it's about less. You think about eating a whole lot more food doesn't make you healthier. To lose a few pounds, you have to eat less. And to be healthier, think about that person. It's not crunching every bone. It's not finding 10 subluxations, because in reality, it's usually one subluxation. Occasionally, you have a second one, maybe. And I usually think it's upper cervical, C4, T1, 2, or 3, T11, 12, L4, L5, and entirely in that sacrum. Those are the areas that I see the most come out, but it's not always in those areas. I see them in other places, especially in newborns, where that body is just adapting to this environment. So my mother healed heart disease, healed it. Body's healthier. No drugs now at 90. She's functioning well. Blood pressure's beautiful, no drugs. Body's doing what it's meant to do. So her kidney disease, she's had one functioning kidney for over almost 50 years. One kidney worked. And she's had terrible sciatic pain. So my mother, her sciatic pain got worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'm a vitalistic chiropractor. My philosophy is the body's doing something amazing all the time. Pain is no fun. I've had sciatic pain. You know, I adjust hundreds of people a day sometimes. And, you know, my back starts getting tired sometimes. Playing with my children. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. We play a little rough. We have a lot of fun. And you know what? Sometimes I get an ache in the back. I don't go to the chiropractor actually for my achy back. I go to the chiropractor so I function better, so my body can heal my achy back for the reason why it's happening. So her body was saying pain, 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 sciatica, sciatica, sciatica. And I wanted to help my mother. So I got into a treatment mode. I'm trying to adjust for her sciatic pain. Because I've adjusted people and their sciatic pain has gone away like that. Not to treat. I don't like the word treatment. D.D. Palmer said that treatment is one of the worst words in chiropractic. We don't use that word treatment because it's for the sickness, not the person. We care for the person, not the sickness or the dis-ease. We care for the person. That's a big distinction in philosophy. The medical philosophy, and that's their philosophy. And it's wonderful. My whole family are medical doctors, is to treat the symptom, right? So I got out of that mode. I wanted my mom's sciatic pain to get better. So I started trying to just adjust for her sciatic pain. And I even sent her to a physical therapist. We have friends that are physical therapists. They come to my office. They want their subluxations adjusted. They can't do that as physical therapists. So they come to me and send their people to me. But I send my mother to them. Can you help my mom with this sciatic pain? And it got worse and worse. She's dragging her foot. And I know there are a lot of the faculty and people that, oh, I would adjust this and I would adjust that and that would go away from me. I adjusted all those things. So it got worse and worse. And then I said, okay, let's back up. Let me collect myself, take care of her like I would everybody else. Okay? And we adjusted her subluxations. I continued to adjust her. Didn't go away. Didn't go away. Still didn't go away. And it was her appointment for her urologist to do an ultrasound in the kidneys. The one kidney is 8 centimeters and functioning, the normal size. The other kidney has been, I've seen in the report, a shriveled prune, a small little kidney. That small little kidney grew to 8 centimeters and functioning. Both sides were functioning kidneys. After 50 years, her heart disease healed. Next was her kidneys. And then the sciatic pain was going away. What was happening is that shriveled up little kidney was growing to function the way it's supposed to. Wow. Wow. The first thing I think of is the hierarchy of the body. You can't live without this heart. So what does Innate say? Let's heal that heart, baby. Let's heal that heart. What's next? I can live with one kidney, but it's better to have 2. Innate starts healing that second kidney. You can live with pain in your leg all of your life, It's no fun, but you're going to live. You can be happy. You can enjoy yourself, whatever it might be with a pain in your leg. That's the third thing down the road. When we do an adjustment, we don't know what the body has planned for us in healing. My arm might be numb, but it might be the thyroid the body has to heal. There might be a tumor in there you have no idea about. We make cancer cells every minute. The body's making a cancer cell. Our immune system, controlled by our innate intelligence, our spirit, says, hey, I see you. Let's put you in the lymphatic system. Let's get rid of you. We don't need you. When the computer has too many things open, right? When there's the innates working so hard, it gets one past the goalie. You know, one goal in the World Cup can win the game. That one thing can ruin the game too. Gets past the goalie, but it can still heal that. A spontaneous remission, you hear the word remission from cancer, it doesn't happen anything from the doctor. It's the doctor within that heals that cancer.
A lot of people are concerned about the stress on the neck or neck adjustments. What we do here is a little different than what we see in other places maybe. Very gentle adjustments in the cervicals when you need them. If you're holding your adjustments, you're clear and you don't need a cervical adjustment. What we do is really strive to have gentle, clear, honoring, and effective adjustments in the cervical spine. And I'm going to demonstrate one right now with Dr. Logan here. Easy as that. Gentle, effective. Was that gentle? Have a beautiful day.
Who knows what innate or spirit is actually doing in the body when we give that one adjustment? It might be healing the nerves. It might be healing the sciatic pain, but it also might be healing the prostate, the bladder, the pancreas. We have a woman just the other day, my son's school teacher, said, I don't know if chiropractic, because she came in because she couldn't move. Her body was so stiff. She was in a lot of pain. And that stiffness, you realize, to get somebody out of spasm is doing them a disservice. It's not helpful to do that because what happens, spasm is holding an unstable vertebra. That vertebra is unstable. So the innate says, I'm going to hold on to that because tingling in the hand might be one thing, but there's also the thyroid, the circulatory ganglia that goes to the heart and the lungs. If those nerves are pinched off too much, what do we have? I'm going to hold on to that unstable joint until I can get adjusted. And when someone's adjusted properly, it might not be at that one joint. It might be at the atlas, might be below it, because it's so tight. You bring ease into that system, and that subluxation is able to clear, then the spasm can go away. I tell people, no massage at least 6 hours before your adjustment, and at least wait 24 hours after your adjustment till you get a massage, because then that gives innate a chance to do what it needs to do, because the adjustment isn't in the moment. We have maybe some changes right there, but that body is still working hours and hours, days, weeks, months after the adjustment. And I'm all for massage. I love massages. My wife loves massages. I love massages. My kids do. I send people to massage therapists. I have them come and see us because they refer to us. And not because I enjoy it, but we share people. I refer to them. I'm all for it. In the perfect time. People say, well, what about loosening up your muscles before the adjustment? When we do your adjustment properly, the muscles are not going to be a factor in how I adjust you. The muscles are going to relax when everything is supposed to. Not a minute before, not a minute after. I heard someone named Don Epstein. I think he's going to come and teach network chiropractic in Mexico sometime in the future, I've heard, which would be nice. But I remember him saying once that pain goes away the moment it's safe to. Your body's always working towards safety. So my mother heals her heart disease, heals her kidney disease. Wow. She did it. I didn't. But I knew how to do it properly. I've been educated very well by who I feel were the greatest chiropractors in the world. In my adjusting and my philosophy. We're going to get into some of that in a little while. So her body healed itself. The woman that came in, I skipped that story a little bit, forgive me. Pain, arms tingling, she can't drive because she couldn't turn her head. And then she asks me, can chiropractic help me with diabetes? And I said, why do you ask that? She goes, my blood sugar has been getting better and better and better since I've been getting adjusted. I can't really turn my head very well. It's getting better. She said her body was healing it. A lot of arthritis, a lot going on in her neck, right? And she starts moving better. But what happens? Her pancreas is functioning better. She's making insulin better. If you're making insulin better, you're making amylase and lipase are also made in the pancreas, are digestive enzymes. The body's able to break down food better. It's able to utilize those beautiful molecules, all that beautiful food that's grown from the earth and God, to use it as your living clay to make you who you are. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Her pancreas is healing. And you know what I say? Spread the word. Please tell your friends. You can save somebody's life right now by telling them this story. It's amazing. You can save someone's life by telling them about the chiropractic story. Not about just getting them out of pain. Pain is not how I market my office. I'm looking at my sign. It says pregnancy care, infants, children, and adults. And people say, why do children need to be adjusted? They don't have any pain. Yeah. I don't adjust for pain. I adjust for life. The vitality of existence within this body. The immune system is controlled by innate intelligence. What are we thinking about day and night now? Everybody's worried about their immune system for the first time in life. They're thinking about being healthy. The tools for being healthy don't come in a pill. They don't come in a potion. They don't come from a salve. They definitely don't come from a shot. The immune system does not come from a vaccine. It comes from you. And it's healthier when it's allowed to do something. If you don't use it, what do? You lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. With our immune systems the same way. Sometimes it needs to be taxed. It needs to function. I've had the flu. I've had bad flus. Every time I give praise to my body, thank you, God, for immune system. It makes it go better than complaining the whole time. Poor me, poor me, poor me. In reality, I say, thank you, God, for clearing out my lungs, for clearing my system so I can live healthier, I can adapt to my environment better. And I say that my wife loves it because I don't complain as much as I used to. I used to go the other way. Complain about this. Oh, I feel so terrible. Nobody likes that. But still, in making that shift and knowing my body is doing something amazing, and then empowering the people you serve with the same thing. Empowering them with that. Look how amazing your body is. Look how you're digesting your breakfast to make it into this beautiful body that you live in. And fortunately, I have a lot of great chiropractors around me to adjust me. I have 2 chiropractors showed up at my house last night. We talked about chiropractic all night. We adjust each other. That's what we do. That's the fun part about being a chiropractor. We have lots of fun together. And you make money in life. There's an exchange. I have people, we have a reasonable fee that's affordable. I always say this, I make my fees something that I would pay, right? It's affordable to me. It's affordable to other people because they'll pay, and for the rest of their life, they come into me. I've seen people, my very first patient still comes. So when we are in this field, we're allowed to receive. We're allowed to receive money. in exchange for all the hard work you've spent in school, all the work, all your years just to get to chiropractic college, and then all the work it takes to set up your office, to advertise and market. There's an exchange in energy. Money is just energy. So my children can have shoes and go to the school that I want to send them to. My wife can drive a nice car. Happy wife, happy life. So we can live in comfort. This is another thing too. When I go home at night, I've worked hard and I need to be at ease and relax, play with my children, have fewer worries. To be in balance that way is very important in that exchange. This isn't what people talk about very often, but it is very important, especially in the transition from student to chiropractor. We still in this student mentality. We were all students. I had to work. I had a job while I was in chiropractic school. And, I still have student loans. In the U.S., we have student loans to go to school. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And every dollar was worth it. But in that exchange of energy, we are allowed to be well. And people gladly give you money. Some people can't afford it. I don't say no. Absolutely, come on in. I have people bring me mangoes. I have people make dinner for my family even. Even if they've paid, I have people that pay for their neighbors to come in because they know their neighbor needs care. And then bake us a dish for dinner to bring to my family because what they paid, they get so much more out of. This isn't bragging about money, okay? But everybody has to earn a living in life. Whether you work on the roads, you work in a farm, you work on cars, you're a mother at home caring for children is hard work. Everybody has a task to do in life. Yours is being a chiropractor and being a great mother and father as well, and son and daughter, all of us. So that exchange is very important. So I wanted to touch on that just for a moment because I want to see everybody successful. And that doesn't mean driving a Rolls Royce or Mercedes Benz and the biggest boat and yacht, a giant house. And those are good too. I want you to have them if that's for you. Absolutely. I want you to have that. And to help you, I'll help you get there. Contact me anytime. I'm at your service. The exchange comes from service. The side effect of service is wealth. And whatever you determine that wealth to be, the abundance of love in your life, happiness, joy, all those things. So this is my, connection with you as chiropractors, chiropractic students, whoever's going to watch this. Next, I want to just talk about some of the things that we're doing. Earlier last year, we translated D.D. Palmer's 1910, The Chiropractor, in Spanish and Portuguese. And we also did B.J. Palmer's, it's called Fame and Fortune, Volume 33. 33 principles, 33. It's a very important number. That's why we did that, and it's an excellent book. And I posted those on the iChiro Green Book page. So please join that. What I want to inspire you to do in Spanish, or if this people are in other languages, in Portuguese, whoever's listening to this, is get in groups. And right now you're doing Zoom or Microsoft, whatever, Zoom groups, and discuss one page, one paragraph. If anybody's been on my Green Book group that we do every Tuesday, I believe it's 7 p.m. in Mexico. It's 8 o'clock p.m. at night on Tuesday Eastern time, which is my zone in Florida. Mexico is 1 hour behind us. Brazil is 2 hours ahead of us. So we also have Brazilians on that and Mexican students from both schools. But what I'd like you to do is get together and start discussing this philosophy, and then post those discussions on the Green Book page. Many of you are already members on there. You can do a Zoom and just record it. And your inspiration, there is nothing incorrect. And a lot of people are afraid to talk about philosophy because they feel like they're going to be incorrect or say something that's not intelligent. That's not the point. getting your point across, understanding our philosophy, discussing it. I spent most of my time as a student and a young chiropractor with the old guys. I said the old guys that my friend Pasquale Sarasoli he never met D.D. Palmer, but he was one step away from D.D. Palmer. B.J. Palmer, all those people, my mentors were as close to them as I possibly could. So I got the wisdom from them the best that I could. And what they always talked about was breaking down the green books. They called breaking it down. It's not just taking one quote from B.J. Palmer and saying, oh, that's great. But what does that mean to you? That means there's no wrong answers. What does that mean to you? Wow, that's important stuff. Because then it might make it my own. I understand the philosophy a little bit better. And in a group, each person has a chance to discuss, well, this is what I got from that. This is what, I can see your point in this. How about if I add this point to it? Oh, yeah, I get that. Or no, I think this means something different for me, which is good. Understanding comes from discussing it and knowing it. I had one of my professors, Dr. Boylston, when I was in chiropractic school, first quarter, the first class we had, and he used to say, if you know it, you can teach it. If you know it, you can teach it. Like, wow, yeah, that's really great. So we all started teaching each other, getting in groups, right? Which I'm sure you all do. The philosophy is more important. Now, I know all your chemistry teachers and all the anatomy teachers, everyone, you have a very important job. The philosophy and understanding why is the most important part. That's a little more where we see esoteric, right? That's why we have to talk about our philosophy. We have had discussions because people had some concerns because Dee got an inspiration from Jim Atkinson, and he said it was a spiritual being. He got a message. Who hasn't got an inspiration in the middle of the night and said, wow, I'm going to go write that down? I do it all the time. B.J. Palmer wrote about it continually. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But getting an inspiration, in English, inspiration means to bring in spirit, to be inspired in spirit, to come into us. When we get a bit of flash of information in our brain, I've come up with inventions. We're working on one right now for a baby adjuster. I'm not letting that cat out of the bag yet. We're still working on a patent for it. But that inspiration came to me in the middle of the night. I can call it whatever I want. D.D. Palmer said in this book, The Chiropractor, okay, can you see it? The Chiropractor, that this is not a religion. And a lot of people said he wants to make it a religion and all those things. We're going to touch on that right now. He said over and over again, I do not want to make this a religion. It is not a religion. And I got a little put out by people that didn't read actually what he was saying. They read the headline, they get disenchanted, and they start complaining about things, which is how everybody does on the internet nowadays. You read one headline and you think you know everything about politics, the immune system, and everything else. When you read it and discuss it, understand it, digest it. Pasquale used to say, you digest it. There have been times, and some of you guys, Veronica and Edgar, you've been amazing, helping us in this translation. But we read one line, one sentence, and discuss it for an hour because it was that in depth. The very first chapter is the moral and religious duty of a chiropractor. Very often people shut off immediately. They see religious duty. That's not what he was talking about. What he was saying, as if it were a religion, how you are courteous to a priest or a nun, and your duty to go help someone. If I see someone trip and fall on the sidewalk, I'm going to go help them. May I help you? May I help you? You see someone ill coming in, may I help you with chiropractic? Your duty is to help people as if it were a religion. Think about it in that sense. When we're talking about chiropractic philosophy, we're talking about caring for people at such a level. There is nothing higher than our spirituality of God, whatever you believe in, Buddhism, Hinduism, doesn't matter. If you're a Muslim, doesn't matter. You were as honoring as you would be in church, in the mosque, in the synagogue, in the ashram, honoring chiropractic and serving the people and honoring the people as if this was a church, as if that was a nun on the table, which it very well might be. It might be the next coming of Christ, that child this person has, I don't know. But that child might also grow up to be the next Hitler. Unless we'd clear their subluxations so they function at their absolute best. I don't know. That's not up to me. I move the bone, God does the healing. I move the bone, the body heals itself. That's what D.D. Palmer was talking about when he said the moral and religious duty of a chiropractor. He got inspiration from Innate. He called it Jim Atkinson. Who cares? But he got an inspiration and gave us chiropractic. Through that and having the huevos, pardon me for being crude, but he had the guts, he had the intestinal fortitude, he had the drive to say, it might sound a little weird, but I'm going to go teach everybody this. I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to it. I'm going to go with every ounce of my being to save people's lives, to educate people about chiropractic. I'm going to adjust vertebra. I'm going to adjust babies. I'm going to adjust grandmas. I'm going to adjust everybody. I'm going to care for their subluxations. Their lives are going to change. The world is going to change when it's subluxation free. He went to court. They wanted to put him in jail. And he told this story about chiropractic. He told people what chiropractic was. Lives started to change. I have a picture of Harvey Lillard on my wall here. Gave the first adjustment at the fourth dorsal of his vertebra, and his hearing was restored. People say that incorrectly. This book tells the story. D.D. Palmer's 1910. It's the Chiropractor's Adjuster. The Science, Art, and Philosophy of Chiropractic, the Chiropractor's Adjuster, which means he adjusts the chiropractor back to true north. Subluxation, focus. Not all the other things. Sometimes we need to be put right back on track. The Chiropractor's Adjuster. He said, I worked for 9 years before he delivered that first adjustment on Harvey Lillard. It didn't happen by chance. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't a mistake. B.J. Palmer wrote different ways, all sorts of mixed up things. He was 13 years old when he delivered that adjustment to Harvey Lillard. He doesn't remember everything. He said, it had to be the Atlas. B.J. said this. And I believe it was in volume 18. And then eventually he started saying it was the fourth dorsal. D.D. said the whole time, B.J. was 13, he was but a lad, is what he said. It was the fourth dorsal vertebra. Where is that? That's the base of the circulatory ganglia. The heart was the doorway to the heart. Chiropractors bring more heart to the body. The heart connection. His hearing was restored. It wasn't by mistake. So that's to clear up that religion part of it. I think we have to do that. People skirt around it very often. We studied it. We got into it. We answered questions. We posted it on YouTube. Okay, it's on YouTube. Innate Express on YouTube. I want you to join that, watch them. And I know in most of those DD ones, we put Spanish subtitles and Portuguese so people can really get an understanding of what's actually happening in multiple languages. So go and check those out. Innate Express. It's in English. You can probably do it in Spanish too and find it because I tried to do it as many ways as I could. Clearing up that religion part. It muddies the water for some people. But it's the duty, as if it were a religion. Think about that. Morally, why we do this stuff. It's not my mother only. It's all the other mothers. It's all the other grandmas. It's all the other babies that deserve chiropractic, deserve you to be the greatest chiropractor on earth. That's a big statement. You think about, and we have maestros. We have amazing chiropractors around. When you have that, I know that person is coming into me because they were guided here. I believe in spirit. We're guided here by spirit for me to take care of them. For me and for you. They aren't there by mistake. They're there on purpose. Their bodies are doing something amazing right now, every minute. You have that opportunity to serve that person, no matter what it is. You see something absolutely huge happening, you're just fresh in practice. I'm going to go with what I know. Go with what you know. Go with what you know. And you adjust their atlas, maybe the sacrum, maybe stay away from the hot spot. Or if you feel confident, maybe it needs to be adjusted there. You let your innate guide you. I do innate baby. I'm doing innate baby adjusting workshops in 2021 all over the country and over Mexico and Brazil. And maybe Europe. I don't know. I don't have that much time to do that much traveling. My family also needs me. So having that confidence, say, I know this person was guided here. I'm the greatest chiropractor for that person right now. I am the greatest chiropractor for that person. Not anybody else. Not anybody with 30 or 40 years of experience. But me right now in this moment. That's important for us to all realize. It's not ego saying that. It's server. You are the server. That is important. So we touched on that with D.D. Palmer. B.J. Palmer, this is the other book that we translated and I posted on the page. It's called Fame and Fortune, Volume 33. Fame and Fortune, I'm not really sure why he named it that. I don't even think about that. But it goes through a lot of information about connecting from our educated is stuff we've learned on earth. It's not the smartest part of us. Innate intelligence is the same intelligence that created the entire cosmos. We can call it universal intelligence. I call it God. God inside of each and every one of us, giving us life. A dead body does not have innate intelligence. It still has God creating that matter, energy creating matter, but life force is gone. Okay? When BJ, most of his writings are on the philosophy of separating educated from innate and living more innately than more educatedly. When we're living educatedly, all we see is the black and white. If and then. If and then. But that's logic. It's not always correct. What he mentions and wrote about 26 volumes of the I believe 26 were written by BJ. There were some written by other people. But his are mostly about listening to your innate intelligence. Innate intelligence is running the show. And when we get that first bit of information, should I go left or should I go right? It's usually that first inkling says, do this. Now, that takes practice. A lot of the questions that come up in our groups are, how do I listen to innate better? Is practice. Is practice it. Write it down. If you're studying for your exams. I want you to do great on your exams. Do great on your exams. You're studying. Do you ever get a little thought flash? Oh, wow. Maybe if you're in clinic and you're starting to see people a little bit in school, let me check the atlas of that person. Write it on a separate piece, another note somewhere. And put it away so you'll find it. And then get back to your studying. And then you've cleared that out of the brain. B.J. Palmer said, keep an innate pad of paper next to your bed. It's easier than doing your cell phone. I try to do it with my cell phone, but it's so bright in the middle of the night. But a little innate pad, and you write down in your scribble in the dark. Write it down, and then you can go back to sleep. And then you get a new fresh one. All those things are innate speaking to you. The more you practice that, of listening to that innate, usually everything after that first one, your body's trying to, your innate, your educated is trying to justify, either say, do this, I should go and do that, or I shouldn't do that. Okay? Your educated is trying to take you away from that innate most of the time. So the more we're acting innately, same thing with our adjustment. It takes practice, is to trust our palpation. Doing a Titron scan or a thermal scan or a neurocalorimeter or taking an x-ray, we'll get some information. You can't find a subluxation on an x-ray. Gonstead told us that because you don't have a neural component on that. You can see a vertebra out of place. But when your fingertips have all the beautiful sensory, stronger and more powerful than any instrument, trusting it is the big part. I feel that tone is changed. The vibration has changed. I feel here, I can feel there. You can't do that when you're thinking about paying your bills, fight with your girlfriend or your husband or your wife. You know, all those things you can't do it. You have to block that out of your mind. That takes practice. That's hard. That's the hardest part. Trusting these beautiful fingertips, trusting these wonderful organs God gave us to be able to feel and find a subluxation. When we adjust a newborn baby, I have people come straight from birthing their child, immediately come into the office. And I'm going to show a couple of videos here where the baby is one day born for their first adjustment. I have a couple that I'm going to show you. That baby had no pain. The baby latched perfectly to nurse. It's not constipated. It hasn't cried yet in its life. The eyes are still closed. But it can be subluxated. 9 months of meningeal tension. What are they? Wrapped up like a little ball. If you've ever seen a newborn baby, the first few months of a child that's not been adjusted, they're still wrapped up, just like they're in mama. And very often you'll see that baby just open up. I think of the lotus flower. If we do meditation, you see that lotus flower open up. With that baby, you'll see in the videos, just lightest touch. I'm holding the baby this way with my fingertips. Not jabbing into the baby, not force. I'm not looking for clicks and sounds. What I'm doing is putting my awareness at my fingertips. Every bit of thought, every bit of energy, every bit of concentration is at my fingertips. Just touching the baby's vertebra. I do the same with adults too, just in a little different way. All that love is at that moment, pinpoint. And you can feel, you'll see in the video, the baby just starts opening up, opening up. Birthing is a lot of work for a child. God forbid they're in a C-section. It's the worst way to be born. Pulled out by their neck, like that. Or they do a vacuum extraction right on the only harder part right here, right? Pull it up like a noose. What happens? Like that. That's not healthy for this vertebral column, for the spine, for the rest of their life. I see people all the time and I ask them my paperwork, how was your own birth? I'm 75 years old. I'm not 75. 51 this year. 75 years old. How do I know about my birth? My back started hurting yesterday. The back started hurting because of stuff that happened years and years and years ago. We all know that. All the way back to birth. Oh, they used forceps. What do forceps? They have short forceps that grab right at the atlas and long forceps that grab right at the C4. God forbid a man pulls on that neck on a baby that has no muscle whatsoever. Pulling! No. So we're adjusting Isaac. He's a newborn. He was just born last month.
What was his birth? What
12/20.
12/20. He was born very quickly, has a little bit of fluid around his heart. Is that right? Right now I feel a T1 subluxated. And we're going to adjust his atlas and C5 and T1. And I'm adjusting T1 right now, right? The circulatory ganglia. Let's just check his legs. He's very short on the left side. Yeah, you're a big boy. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that deep stretch that's releasing meningeal tension, deep tension. There we go, just like that. And that's right at T1. You can see I'm just changing the angle of my vector of energy here. And that's just better. I can feel it. It's softer, more at ease. He's nearly balanced. I think the other part's going to be C1 atlas right here. That's it. You can see it. The reason why I adjusted atlas last is because there's less. We're going from above down, inside out. So I want all that clarity. If I'm adjusting atlas, I want T1, everything else below, clear. And he is really just adjusting really well. That's so good. Yeah, you feel better. Look at you. Look at that. And now his legs are totally balanced. He's just loose. Can you see that difference? So good, big boy. Now I'm going to check his cranials. So he has a right side TMJ right here. I can feel it, TMJ syndrome. I'm adjusting that. You can see his face. He's just, and I'm not pressing hard, but I am going a little bit inferior, superior to inferior. That's it. And that just cleared. It's perfect. I'm going to check the sphenoid. Yeah. You can see his whole physiology just changed. You see how calm he just got? Just clearing the sphenoid. The pituitary gland sits right on that, and that just loosened up really nicely. And let's check this occiput. So he's stuck a little bit on the left side occiput. Good boy. Yeah. And he just wiggled that in his hands, and it just cleared his occiput, which is the base of the head. Good. And we're going to make sure the temporal bones, let me just bring you back here. Temporal bones, and I can feel the right side temporal just come this way. We're just going to go right there. You can feel that. Yeah, big boy. And that I have, the axis is right at the center of the ear. And there we go. You can see that just relaxed. All that meningeal tension is just loosening up. I'm not forcing, it's the intention of the direction we want to go in. Fantastic. And he's just, every movement he is doing and unwinding himself. So awesome. He did so great. And now look at him. Thank you for giving us permission to do the video.
Of course.
Because we use this for teaching for other chiropractors.
Yeah.
Sacrum's clear. You're all done.
Yay, baby.
You see how he was just like laying there? He's
Are you all relaxed?
Yeah.
I instruct my mothers, please tell the obstetrician if you're going to pull or do anything, just a little fingertips under the armpits. Once the baby is out to here, the baby by that time is usually all the way out. I say the armpits, but the baby's usually done by then. But ultimately, you don't want to pull here. But how have most people been born? Somebody grabbing, pulling, twisting. I'm all for home births, okay? That's something else entirely. But we see people that have gone through trauma in their neck their entire life. Their central nervous system has been under stress because of birthing. Even if nobody pulled at all and they were born at home, how many hours of pushing into the pelvis before the baby comes out? Maybe hours. My wife pushed for 12 hours. She's a superhero. For my daughter, the firstborn, the baby was sunny side up. Her head was caught on the pubic bone. My wife went through so much work. What was subluxated? Nobody pulled that baby. Occiput, pushing like this for hours. Her frontal bone was rotated. The occiput was pushed in. Her C1, C2 were almost adhered, pushed onto the occiput. It took a lot of work to get that baby where people said, this baby's going to have major torticollis their whole life. No, they didn't. She had no torticollis whatsoever. I see thousands of babies I have with torticollis that have gone away like that without rubbing one single muscle with clearing subluxation. I adjusted my son the moment he was born and my daughter the moment they were born. One moment, I was the catcher, and then an adjustment. Just to feel it, just to touch with the pad of your finger, the smallest pad. Can you see that in the camera? Just the smallest little tip, that pad, just a little pressure. Actually, not even pressure. Let's change that word. I'm matching the tone of that body. Just a light touch, holding on and just feeling right where I feel a subluxation. If it's at the atlas, just with those pads. And my intention is in adjusting. And I can visualize that vertebra right between my fingers. Clarence Gonstead said, I become one with the bone. That is the most powerful statement in chiropractic, I feel, because I become one with that bone. And that bone, very often, you'll feel it just bloop, right into place. Without force, you're not pushing, you're not poking, just with your intention. Now, I've seen it now with adults too. Now that I've been doing that type of work for a long time, I see it with adults. So just that intention, and we see that everything change. Babies opening up, being more at ease. Growing up and being healthier adults. Growing up and being higher consciousness. I feel it's a higher consciousness. Because they didn't live a whole life being subluxated. Even the word subluxated, under, sub in English is less than, or under. Lux, L-U-X, light. Ation is the expression of. Subluxation, under the expression of the light. Think about that for a minute. What was very popular, and I don't like this as much, is using the term less than. Less expression of light. We're 100% God all the time. We're 100% life. And I use the term God and light together. So the expression of the light to me is God, or universal intelligence, expressing through us under the expression of the light. Now this is new philosophy, okay? And that subluxation, D.D. Palmer is just trying to figure those things out. He didn't say less than, but he was thinking that we're functioning less. But actually, we're functioning at 100% all the time, the best that we can. Think about it in that sense. And what those subluxations are a communication from innate to who can listen to them, who knows how to read this new language, ASRA, a PRI, whatever it might be, INEX ilium, which someone adjusted me on the other day. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. He knows how to read the language of my innate, of how to serve me best. That's what these subluxations are. The body's saying, do it here, this way. That will help me be better. That's a communication, I say, from a higher power through that innate intelligence telling me, serve me this way. You talk about inspiration. Jim Atkinson is the small part. If people get hung up on that, think about this. I feel God's talking to us through that vertebral column. Take care of my people this way. Okay, I'm humble and obedient and say, yes, I will do that. Not my educated saying, well, this should be a subluxation. No, this is the subluxation because I know in my being, I know in my innate, my spirit, how to adjust this person. It might be different from me to you to whomever. That's why there's a lot of controversy in chiropractic, actually, because everybody finds different subluxations on the same person. Why? I don't want to be consistent as everybody else, because that innate trusts my innate in a different way than your innate. It's going to say something different to you. That's important. I'm paying attention with my innate. My body is saying, adjust me this way. I trust you in this way. Now, having the confidence of people coming in and saying, you're done. 30 seconds. Doesn't take a lot. I don't have to dance for them. I have to make jokes. We don't have to talk about football. We don't have to talk about the weather. I'm talking about chiropractic. Your body's clear of subluxations. You're functioning at its best. Love and appreciate you. Tell your friends. Bring them with you so we can save more people's lives. You had a subluxation, it's your T1 vertebra. Those nerves go to your heart and lungs. Now you're clear for your body to heal and function at its best. That's what we do in this office. And then we're done. Pay the lady at the front. But what happens is we're changing lives. We're not entertaining people. It's not about doing more. It's really about doing less and having the confidence to do it. The confidence to do it. To do one adjustment, one vertebra moves, where in the beginning it's like, maybe I should do more, maybe they want more value, but the value doesn't come in more. It comes in knowing what you know, doing it extremely well, and having the confidence to say, that was awesome. Have a great day. I'll see you on Wednesday. That's where the confidence comes from. It's not about creating an experience for someone. It's about adjusting that vertebra, transforming their life. So having the wherewithal, having the substance, the education, the values of chiropractic are life-changing, life-changing.
We're doing another demonstration on an atlas adjustment. That atlas adjustment is so important to have that clear, and it's so gentle and so effective. But I want you to just see how easy it is on the body for somebody to receive an atlas adjustment. Fantastic. So keep your atlas clear, and we'll get healthy together.
B.J. Palmer, during the flu pandemic in in the early 1900s, the people around Davenport, Iowa, they wrote articles about them because the people around Davenport, Iowa didn't die from the flu. They were healthier because of B.J. Palmer's clinic and people getting adjusted. Think about that. He transformed their lives because the immune system was functioning better because they were well adjusted. You're changing lives. You are changing lives. You're on a mission to help transform them. And it's not by what you're saying. We don't have to be psychologists. My father was a psychiatrist. I mean, it's having, psychological therapy is not what I'm here in the office for. What I'm here is to adjust subluxations, and they're going to go out there and everything in their life changes. We had one woman in here, it was beautiful. She was a veterinary technician, took care of animals, do those type of things. And she said, I've always wanted to be an airline pilot, a pilot. Didn't have any college education, nothing. Started off, went to college, got her pilot's license, is flying for an airline now. How beautiful is that? She was never in pain. But she started thinking more clearly. All the things that restricted her in life. People told her she wasn't enough. You can't do that because you're a woman. You can't do this because you're not smart enough or you're not educated enough. That's what she was telling herself her whole life because that's what people said to her. They fed that poison in her ears. When we adjusted her, all that changed. I am good enough. Everything about me is amazing. Think about that. Everything about you is amazing. Could you imagine they can't grow one living cell? One cell, you're making 3 million a minute. Life is amazing. You're amazing. This body is amazing. So much so, I want to work with it to make it more amazing. When we have children growing up becoming chiropractors, I love that in my office. I have stacks of things. Go to chiropractic school. You make a great chiropractor. The more chiropractors out there, the better that are doing chiropractic. We have awesome physical therapists. Let them do their job. We have I send people to the nutritionists, the herbalists. I send them to the vitamin people. I send them to the podiatrists. I send them to the physical therapists. If that's what they want. Chiropractic is one thing and it's powerful. The more I add to it, the less power it actually has. If I say, go take some CBD oil, then they start saying the CBD oil helped me. The reality is it was that chiropractic adjustment letting your innate intelligence work at its absolute best. That's the life within. Being powerful in chiropractic, being powerful in what you do, being powerful in this life. That's the big stuff. Allowing this adjustment to be amazing and help people realize it. 30 seconds. All right, we're done for today. I'll see you Friday. Subluxations adjusted. Now, if I say you got to do this, 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 and this, you just lost the power of that adjustment. We know how powerful it is. I have seen it with my own mother. I've seen it with myself. I was in a bad accident when I was in college. I went to the University of San Diego, and I was in a bad accident. I had reflux. I was 20 years old, 21. I couldn't drink water. I would get acid through my chest. I was in college there. I was going to go to law school. I did go to law school, but I was pre-law. And I was studying. I'd read books over and over again. Nothing would stick in my brain. What do they call that? They have drugs for children for that. I didn't want any of that stuff. That can't be me. I'm not there. I'm in college now. I got this far. Why can't anything stick in my brain anymore? And I went to one chiropractor. My friend's father was a lawyer. I asked him, where should I go? He said, I'll go see this guy. Well, he was a pain management chiropractor, and they just did ultrasound on me. They zapped me. And I said, this is baloney. No one's doing anything for me here. And I left. And then I always tell this story. It's Dr. David Libbs, Libbs, in San Diego on Garnett Street in Pacific Beach. And he explained chiropractic and a subluxation to me. You have a subluxation in your neck. We got to adjust that vertebra so your life can talk to your body. I was like, why didn't my father tell me this? Or my sister or all the other medical doctors in my office, my house, my family? Because they don't know it. They're not taught that. And that's okay. They have their own education. We have our own education. We're separate and distinct, BJ used to say. So he adjusted me. My reflux got better. My digestion healed. I was better for the first time in months. Then I don't want to label it. I always say don't label it, don't own it. But I started studying and things were sticking in my brain again. I was thinking I'm not going to be able to graduate from school. I don't know what happened. I didn't realize it was from the accident. As we were getting adjusted, everything started getting better in my life. I graduated college. I still didn't go to chiropractic school yet. I went to law school in Miami. I went to law school and I realized, like I said, all my family are in the medical world. We're meant to serve people. It's in my cells to serve and care for people. And law school wasn't right for me. I went for a while. I did okay there, but it wasn't what thrilled me in life. So my best friend, his name's Steve Pedix, he said, you should be a chiropractor. It just came to him as an inspiration, just like Jim Atkinson and Dee Dee Palmer. But he said it. He got the inspiration for me. Spirit spoke to him because he knew that if I get it from a friend that truly cares about me, I'll listen to it in a different way. And I did.
Where we're looking at just thinking of our consciousness, what we're thinking, becoming one with the Atlas, from my episternal notch through the anatomical snuff box of my top hand, through the pisiform of my top hand, all the way through till we get to Atlas. And can see it, I can visualize it in my mind's eye how it's moving. I can just feel it's getting softer in the way, but it's significant. Good. Wow, okay. Immediately your scapula more symmetrical. It's much more ease at your atlas. And you can feel that. I can still feel this base posterior here. We're going to adjust it. As a matter of fact, I can see the rotation in your pelvis. Raise this whole leg up. Drop it down. Raise this one, please. I could feel under my hand where it just grabs here. Was it harder to lift?
It was.
It was, yeah. And I can even just see that tension so much more.
I've got a very bad knee on the right side.
Okay. So what I'm doing is pumping the sacrum just in the moments where I can feel your meninges and the CSF, cerebral spinal fluid. It's almost like a wave. Perfect. We want to get just at the pause. One more all the way down to S5. Good. Okay, I'll check to see if that is any different with the knee there. You do have more range of motion, but that is sticky on that side. Raise that leg up, please. Better. Drop it down. Let's see that one. Do you feel that difference? It's moving better.
I dedicated my life to chiropractic and serving it to the people and educating it, giving it as education to the students. And I mean students of all ages. We have students at my seminars that have been practicing 30, 40 years. That's great. I'm constantly learning myself. We just held a seminar at my office that I didn't teach, but I hold them in my office. Biogeometric integration, BGI, finding the subluxation through the system. I've done it 3-4 times already, and I'll do them again. I love learning to be better at serving. So the philosophy is important of why we do it. Being amazing adjusters, okay? I want you to train and practice. I have 2 students that are going to intern here soon. We start training at 7 a.m. Our bodies, our fast twitch muscles, we don't want slow twitch, we want fast twitch. And practicing our adjustments, and then our philosophy, the why. Because we have to understand what it is to be the beer in chiropractic. I am doing it. It is me, and this is why. This is how. So training, and I know it's not easy during COVID because everybody's separated, you're studying at home, putting hands on people, clinics are tough, and I see a lot of my friends in other countries, you're in full wrap gear to be able to adjust people. It's difficult. I understand that. Students, it's even more because you're restricted in some ways. So getting our spine models, if you have one, I know they're expensive and it's not easy, but you'll use it in practice. You see, I have a strap on mine. I carry it down the street in my town, and people think I'm crazy. No, they don't, because they know I'm the chiropractor. They ask, what's that on your back? And I tell them about chiropractic. But I started doing this to study when I was in chiropractic school, put a strap on there and take it to the library or take it to the coffee shop. And I would study, and I see every bump on there. I look at the bones. I see how the facets work here. When I move this way and I move that way, the facets move this way. The body is more pressure on the concavity or the apex. Where are these bones in space? If I have a subluxation here, how is that going to affect the vertebra above and below? If my pelvis is rocked this way, how can I adjust that properly? How can I be a part of that bone in adjusting it? That is what I use this for. And I spend a lot of time with these, and I actually went through a lot of them because I end up breaking them because we practice adjusting on them. But visualizing, seeing them. If you don't have a spine model, you have your books. Get out the beautiful pictures. You can find them on the internet. And look at the pictures. Where are the facets? Look at all these things. It doesn't cost a lot of money to look it up or find it in a book in the library, and just look at how all the nuances are. It is better to feel them. So if you have them in the school and you're able to use them now during COVID, I hope you can. But if you are, what does it feel like? Like I adjust babies with them supine. Sometimes I put them on their mother, but that's usually later on as they're a little bit older. But newborns, I adjust them supine. If their eyes are open, I make sure I'm looking them in the eyes because they want to see you. They're looking into your soul. If they don't want to look at me, very often they want to look at mommy or daddy, usually mommy. So I have mommy very close, looking in the baby's eyes, or if they want to look at me, I look at them in the eyes and I hold their gaze. It's a very important thing. And what I'm doing is I'm allowing their body weight to hold onto my hands. They might be 6 pounds. And I feel the vertebra. Where is that? The tone is different. The vibration might be different. And this takes practice. And you feel how the body, stop here. That vibration there, it feels less than perfect in that moment, right? You can feel their muscle fibers. You think about every lump, every bump. You've learned this in spinal anatomy, I hope. Every bump is a muscle attachment. If one muscle is pulling in one way, it's vibrating at a higher tone. That's why D.D. Palmer said chiropractic is based upon tone. This is part of that tone that he was talking about. If one vertebra is slightly out of place, that vibration, being able to feel that tone. On this side, it might be more lax because the muscle is shrunk, but it still has a tone. You understand? And that tone might be a lower one. Lower vibration. This one might be higher. Where does the body say connect to it? And I hold that higher vibration there. And I put my awareness there, just the pad of my tip of my finger. And I hold that until I feel it change. And you'll usually feel the baby, you'll feel a little relaxed. The videos I'm going to show at the very end, you're going to see where the baby's relaxed. Where I live, we have a lot of engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, where the aerospace is. All the rockets go up here at Cape Canaveral. That's where I live. Beautiful and lots of fun. Everybody's invited to come up. We'll watch them rocket shots. But that last baby, the father's an engineer, very mechanically minded, very mechanical. The mother has been adjusted through all 4 of her babies. The father's never watched one of the newborn's adjustments. This time he watched. And I was showing him, look at that change. And he was just in amazement. Wow, look at that baby change right under your hands. It was amazing. Because we're educating the parents as much as we're educating the people, the children. I always say this, if you can educate a 5-year-old about chiropractic, you can educate an adult. Because really that's the level everybody's listening. When I have children come in the office and they bring friends, like, what's your friend's name? Oh, Isabel. What do you know about chiropractic? They say, nothing. Well, start off, where's your brain? Aquí. What does your brain do? Everything. Tells my body how to, it helps my body do its job. That helps me play. Exactly. And it does that through your spinal cord, right? Your backbone. That's why you protect the brain with a helmet. You protect the back. What a chiropractor does, just make sure all of that life flows through here properly. Isn't that a good idea? Yeah. And then all the parents are also listening, you realize. And you explain it like that to a 7-year-old girl or a boy or whoever, but you're really telling the whole room. And the mother that's in the room is like, oh, wow, yeah. Because she's heard us talk about it. You come to our classes, we educate. But when we make it very simple, everybody hears it. So I hope I did my best making things simple as I possibly could. We got a little complex. We did things that we went through some philosophy. We talked about training. I want to open myself up to you anytime you wish. Google Translate does a lot. I know this is in English. I am here for you. Let's communicate. Get on our Green Book Club. It's iChiro Green Book Lectura. and connect with some people that want to talk about philosophy. I'll try and hook you up with some of the people that are already on with us, anywhere around you, and creating groups to do that. So you can take care of people at their best and at your best as the greatest chiropractor on earth. B.J. Palmer said, "You've been given a gift. Guard it well." And I'm going to add a little part of this. Share it well. So that's my part. You've been given a sacred trust. Guard it well and also share it well. So that sacred trust is chiropractic. Being a chiropractic student, being a chiropractor when you get out, being a faculty member. I feel blessed and just so happy to be a part of this amazing gift of chiropractic. So I'm here for you. I'm Dr. Haig John, chiropractor in Melbourne, Florida. God bless you. Keep serving chiropractic. I love and appreciate you all. I can't wait to adjust you and be adjusted by you. And have an amazing day. Enjoy the rest of your seminar and the amazing speakers that you have. And just know that I'm with you and I'm open to you anytime. Have an amazing weekend and I'll see you soon. Okay, Gideon is 1 day old, and he has, right now I just checked, he's got a little short leg on the right, but I can feel immediately he has an atlas subluxation on the left side, and a little bit of occiput on the right, and just a little TMJ on the left side, same side as his atlas, but it's not always that way. And just check, adjusted his TMJ. Oh, there we go. And we got a little fart there. That's a good one. And just the touch of his atlas actually in the check, he balanced there. And that's when you saw him do that stretch out. And then here you can see he's just more at ease. And then give me your leg, Gideon. And he's balanced. Beautiful. And you can see he's already holding his head in the center from the head turn to the left. That was awesome. Beautiful. And even that little yawn, that's released some meningeal tension. You can see that. Now I'm adjusting. I'm just holding just very lightly at T1. And it just melted under my finger. As soon as he turned his head, it was clear. That is it. Beautiful. Okay, and Gideon is adjusted. And that's an adjustment on a newborn, 1 day old, Gideon.